morning, my people. You guys may not know this, but I'm recording this from the morning. Um, like I said, a lot of people talk to me about different things, asking me, "How did you do your podcast? What do you do?" You know, this particular segment is not my normal weekly podcast. It was just because a lot of people wanted to know, and I felt like yeah, let's answer them. You understand? Firstly, why did I start podcasting? Personally, it was more or less just like a compliment. Somebody just told me like, "Yo, Max, how you doing?" You know, it was a few weeks before exam, my alpha semester exam. That's first semester exam, and I don't know. I was bored, so I went to my unit office as community unit, and I sat down there. I saw a bunch of guys there. By guys I mean boys and girls. You get what? It's a general term for me. I saw a lot of boys and girls there, and I just said, you know what? Why not just start talking to these people? Now, if you know me, when I talk to people, it's not necessarily just a bunch of chit chat. I focus on one topic per time, per person, and then we just drive into it, make the most out of it. And yeah, that's what we do. And so, that blessed morning was a morning. It was after service, though. After that morning, that morning rather, I just woke up to one girl. I think her name is Winda. Yeah, I walked up to Winda. I was like, oh, she's an executive of the unit, so I just felt like, oh, she'd be a very interesting person to talk to. Before that, I don't think we used to talk. Right now, we still don't really talk like that, but that day, I just said, yeah, let's talk to her. And I think the topic then was relationships, and I was just talking to her, and at that point in time, I had no like, I didn't have any idea of I wanted to do a podcast or anything. I just wanted to talk to her, generally. Like I said, if you listen to the first episode, I did talk about myself where I said that I love talking. Yeah, I love talking. When I say I love talking, I don't necessarily mean randomly just opening my mouth and be talking anyhow. No, at specific times. Oh, I see somebody toss in a place, and you look like you're interesting. Or build up a conversation, begin to talk. You get that kind of thing. Interesting talks, not how was your day, how are you doing. Yes, I do that with my friends generally, but like if we're in a place, talk, to keep busy. Yeah. So back to the idea. And we were talking, and talked for hours. Then more guys just started joining the conversation. It just turned to like a group chat kind of thing, and we were just talking, and we all had a good time. I think from relationships we went to some events happening in community university, and from there I can't necessarily, it's been a while, so I can't necessarily remember what we're talking about, but I know we talked about like five different topics. Oh, we talked about spirituality, talked about how academics can affect you, and how you run business outside school. Because generally, like yesterday I went to Hebron Startup Lab. It's like a place where you go to build your skills, not just coding. Because when people hear skills now, they go, oh, coding, building. No, even business skills. Oh, you want to be a business guru. You understand? You go there. So I personally went there for digital marketing and product management. To build those skills, because I'm in engineering, and it'd be nice to have other skills that don't involve engineering. Not to say I don't like engineering, but you get my idea. So we were talking, and we had so much fun. And then this girl just talked to me. She said, like, first of all, she said, "Oh, Maxwell, you have a very good speaking voice." I was like, "Oh, thank you." At first, she wasn't the first person to tell me that. A lot of people have been telling me that since like I entered this Covenant University, and I was like, "Oh, that was really good." Because my secondary school, I used to think I had a very bad voice, so I felt like, oh, I limited the amount of DMs I sent people on WhatsApp, and I felt like, oh, people didn't really, I know didn't really used to talk much. When I entered Covenant University, rather, people were just telling me, "Oh, guy, I love your voice." Obviously, mainly girls. Mainly girls were telling me, "Oh, guy, I love your voice. Can you call? Your voice does that." Somebody even disguise disguise a compliment and an insult to be like, guy, your voice doesn't match your face. I was like, oh, I was like, oh god, you can't. Why? Like, why would you just do that? Well, I get what she was trying to say. She didn't mean it like that, but I get what I was trying to say. Like, if you hear my voice now, you think, oh, this guy is on fire, and sexy. Ah, you're mistaken. I'm okay. I won't say I'm not ugly. I'm just chill. You get, yeah. So that's that. And she was just thinking that, oh, you should do a YouTube video. I was like, guy, I don't want people to be seeing my face. She was like, okay, but you could do a podcast. I think she now said, I even think a podcast would fit you better because your voice is just wow. And I was like, oh, thank you again. And at the point in time, because of exams, I couldn't really. I was planning on doing this thing, starting the podcast for exams, but I couldn't really reason it. I was like, why waste my time? Not waste my time, but like, why start something now when I can just do it after exams? When I'm less busy and all. And that was the plan. So when I got home, I sat down, I planned it, and yeah, I started doing it. You know, and then this is how I got into where I am. I'm still starting small. I'm still watching YouTube videos on how to grow my podcast, what to do, content creation, blah blah blah. And the fact is, this leads me to my next question: how do I get content? Now, personally, I wouldn't lie to you. I have a roster for my podcast. I have a roster, but so far, it's only been the first two episodes. That was Get to Know Me, and I think the CU experience that has been on my roster. The secondary school experience and the breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I hope you guys love that one. Personally, I love that one, and I think I'll do part two with girls because I was talking from a guy's point of view, but I'll do one with girls later on. So personally, my content creation or what I use as content personally for my podcast goes through inspiration. Do you understand? Like, if you listen to the podcast of breakfast, lunch, and dinner, my fourth one, you would hear me say, "Oh, it was inspired by." Do you understand? In other words, it wasn't something I planned. We were just having a discussion. I was like, "Yo, this will actually be very good with my podcast," and the guy was like, "Oh, sure, no problem." And we, bam, honestly, we didn't talk that the podcast. The topic came up on a Sunday, and then I think we recorded on a Wednesday. You get so obviously some different. If I recorded as we were talking, guy, it would have been way funnier than that. I will even lie. A lot of stuff we said were diluted. If I started recording on that particular Sunday, you guys would have just been. It should have just been. Do you understand? And it was it was really chill. It was great. That's the way I do my content creation. But like I said, I like being flexible. you know if you feel like, oh, you want to be rigid, you want to plan everything out. The problem with rigidity is that once your schedule finishes, as well, okay, once you finish everything, you begin to think again. Do you understand? You begin to sit down and think. But flexibility, anything that comes to mind, you write it down. Oh, something came up in class, I saw this thing and, oh, this makes sense. I write it down. This is what I'm going to do for my podcast. Do you understand? It's normal. And you guys this is just the beginning of the podcast. There will still be a lot of story times, even though we already do story times in the middle of episodes. There'll still be a lot of educational content, for people who are dealing with things like mental health, people, academics, people who want to even do some business things. There will still be a lot of time we would settle that. But I just want to make everybody comfortable, happy, enjoy your time with me first before we now dive into the serious things. Do you understand? Like, there was a time I wanted to talk about politics and the Ukrainian and Russian war, but I feel like that's a little bit too serious. You understand, for the beginning of a podcast. You understand? I'm giving you guys insight to what I do. You understand? Next question somebody asked me was, um, sorry, was how do I podcast? Okay, how do I podcast? I use my tablet. Now, personally, if you have the money, honestly, if you think that, oh, I have the money, this is not just talking to community university, I'm talking to anybody who listens to this podcast. If you have the money, go out, go all out. buy proper recording studio, mics, audio checks, everything. Headphones, buy everything. If you're looking for headphones, you can come to my sponsor. Cheap headphones, quality, and they last long. You know, awesome headphones. The guy is TQ. He's my guy, and yeah, you're looking, just go all out. Personally, you just need, I think, an audio setup. You need mics. You need headphones. You need, a lot of mixers to help you. If you're going to add beats, you're going to make everything, and then you need a proper studio, maybe covered in foams and stuff to reduce the reverb, and you need audio, all those things to reduce the reverb and the echo around you. Do you understand? Yes. So yeah, those things. But personally, for me, who right now, I'm not necessarily turning this thing into a business, so I'm not ready to invest too much money into it. You know, start with something simple. I use my tablet because my tablet is actually high grades. If you don't have something like a tablet, you just get a normal recorder. Something you can record. Most people just use a simple recorder with good audio settings. Something that will not be giving you this kind of radio static. Something that will give you very good audio. So you get your audio, then you get your laptop. Get a laptop. You need a laptop or a tab. You need both. I feel like you need both because I use my laptop and a tab for different things. Now for editing, I use Anchor. There are other apps you could use. You could use Buzzsprout. You could use Audacity. There are many others you could use. I use Anchor. Anchor helps me to get proper editing. Do you understand? I mean, there are a lot of things I cannot do on Anchor that I use Audacity to do. Do you understand? Like, oh, the sounds, because if you listen to my first two episodes, and I apologize for that really much, the music was too loud. Like I said, I really, really apologize for that. The music was too loud. But do you understand? It was Audacity that I now use to reduce the music, and henceforth I'll try and adjust it a little bit. Do you understand? So those kind of things, it's easy. Use your laptop for the editing. Like I said, I don't personally know how to edit. Do you understand? But for me to say I use these things for editing, it shows that, oh, it's a very simple software to use. You just do a few clicks, a few this, and you are done. Like it doesn't even need somebody that is brilliant or smart to do it. You could be as dumb as a doornail, and you'd still be able to do it very easily. Do you get exactly? So that's generally what I'm saying. Personally, the whole process is actually quite simple. I feel like this is me talking. These are the things that motivated me. But if I was talking to you, you need to find your own reason for doing these things. You need to find your own reason for um you need to find your own reason for doing everything, your podcast. Because I did my podcast personally because what's driving me to my podcast is that I like talking to people. I like the conversations. Oh, somebody hears my podcast. Like I said, people have been reaching out to me more than usual. And I feel like I need to separate my normal account from my, so I'm going to create another account for that, my Instagram. People reach out to me. Like when I call myself a therapist, there was a girl, I'm not going to mention her name, she just texted me. She sent me what's going on with her and our significant other, and we talked about it. Somebody that I've never met before. She's not a community university, random girl. So it's not as if, oh, Max is just using it to get babe or something. Random girl that I may not meet. She doesn't even live in where I live. I live in Ibadan. She doesn't live near Ibadan. We don't go to Covenant University, so there's no way I can see her, but we still talk. Do you understand? And I'm helping her through her state. She talked to me, and there's progress. Do you understand what I'm saying? I personally like helping people. That's why I'm doing this. That's my drive. And you'd be like, oh, Mark, you just talk about experiences. Yes, because I want to make people laugh. I'm also kind of a comedian. Not necessarily a comedian that I do this constantly, but my personality makes people laugh. Do you understand? That is what I do. The stories I tell, the comments I give, personally makes people laugh, and that is why that is my shit. Do you understand?
And I thought, okay, how does everybody now use the how do I use this to reach out to people? You know, so like I said, I want to use the first part of this episode, first part of this podcast, maybe 10 episodes, to gather an audience. Once I see 500, 700, 1,000 listeners, then I know that there are constant people listening to me. I can now bring out the serious stuff. Oh, guys are dealing with mental health. I can bring it out so that I can impact my generation, impact people, not just by because I'm one person. I cannot talk to everybody in different places, but through this podcast, you can hear this and know what to do. A lot of guys in my school, guys, girls come to me for relationship advice, and by God's grace, I've been opportune to help everyone that has come to me. Nobody comes to me and leaves back with a different problem or a bigger problem. If I thought you leave and then you have a problem at all, it is minuscule. Do you understand? I make sure that's my personal duty. I see things to the end, and that is my mission. Do you understand? That is what I do, and I'm trying to make that public, not just local in where I am, because not everybody's going to know me. Do you understand? And want to talk to me. But through this podcast, you necessarily don't even need to DM me. Do you understand? It's only if you need further help that you meet me. But a lot of things I'll see will hit home for you. Would explain things to you that you'll be like, oh, this is what I need to do, this is what I need to do, and this is what I need to do. And if you need more help, like I said, always DM me. I will always respond. People have been DMing me. Like I said, it may not always be, you know, immediately, but within 24 hours. Because I'm in school. I like it or not, CU Wi Fi is fluctuating. Like as at the time I recorded this podcast now, there's no Wi Fi, there's no lights. Okay, no, there's lights, but there's no Wi Fi. Do you understand? And this is what I have to live with. I'll have to wait for there to be lights. Sorry, for there to be Wi Fi. And go and, post this podcast. Exactly. Do you understand? I'm not always opportune to be around Wi-Fi, but every time I am and I see a message, I reply. Do you understand? And that is where I am. So if you need help, talk to me. I can help you. I can give you advice. I may not physically be able to see you, so this is not a means of Max is single, so he's trying to gather a babe. As of right now, yes, like I said, I say I'm single, and yes, okay, I'm interested in being in a relationship, but this is not what this is about. This is not Max looking for women. Do you understand? This is Max personally looking at people and say, how can I help you? How can I help you? How can I help you? Do you understand what I'm saying? That is what this podcast is mainly about. I feel like you guys will begin to see that later. Do you understand? And that's what I do. Now, personally, there will always be jokes. There will always be these things. But because I have helped so many people, and that is my pride. I take no pride in seeing somebody sad and knowing that there's nothing I can do, because there's only so much I can do. If you don't know me, or if I don't know you, or if you don't talk to me, I can't do much. Personally, I don't like it when I'm talking to someone and this is not opening up to me. How do you want it to be solved? You are no mountain. I have problems, and I have somebody I talk to. So it's not like, oh, Max is on this pedestal that he's the one that solved this problem. No, there are some problems that are even beyond me. You understand? If I have a problem that you bring to me and I can't solve it, I'll tell you, oh, I'll get back to you. And honestly, I'll get back to you because I need to go and talk to somebody that I know that is above me in this kind of business. Do you understand? And this is not me personally trying to, do this kind of I'm above you. We're all students here. Even if it's an adult that is listening to me, we're all human beings. Everybody has a problem. Any Nobody can say they are problem free, no matter how this thing you are. Your problem might be minuscule, but it is still a problem. Do you understand? And if left unchecked, it will destroy you eventually. Do you understand? And those are things that we need help every day. Yes, there's a spiritual aspect of it, but I am a logical person. As much as there is God, I feel like everybody has their part to play. And you thinking I can't do this on my own is absolute foolishness. Somebody's trying to help you. Personally, I'm talking to girls here. If a guy is trying to help you, I may not be able to speak for many guys, but if I am trying to help you or talking to you as a girl and I'm saying I'm trying to help you, don't necessarily look at it as I'm trying to date you. I'm a very direct person. If I like you, you will know. Is in fact, if I'm talking to you because I want to get into a relationship, you will know because I'll be very direct. I will not be coming with pickup lines and this thing. Well, I'll look you straight in the eye, dead in the eye, and I'll be talking to you. Do you understand? And I'll be giving you this much attention, and everything is just going to be a very platonic, not it's a very ecstatic experience. Do you understand? But if you're my friend and I'm trying to help you, you will know because I'll be hard on you. I'll be making sure that you get the best. Like my personal person and my best friend, they know me. If you're messing up, I will push you, and you will not like me for the meantime. But the fact is, when you come out of that thing and you see that you're better, you will come back and you will tell me, "Ah, God bless you, I love you," because that's how I work. When I'm pushing you, I'll be your worst enemy because I'll always be pushing you. 2 a.m. in the morning, I'm telling you get up and come and read. I'll be telling you come and take your drugs. I'll be telling you do this, do this, do this, do this, but it's for your own good. And personally, I have people that do that for me too. Do you understand? It's not I'm talking out of talk, not experience. I've experienced these things, pushing me naturally. My parents do that a lot, pushing me even when I don't like it. I'm doing my own and they're calling me to come and do things. I'm like, why now? I'm chilling. Do you understand? This kind of thing. But that's it. Do you understand? I personally took up this podcast to explain these things, so that when you guys hear me talk and play and get a little bit serious, not be like, oh, Max switched it up. Do you understand? So that you know that yes, this is what is going on. Do you understand? I like personally explaining things to people and be direct. I always tell my friends that know me, if any day you see me, and you're with me, and you've not smiled or you've not laughed or we've not joked, then I'm sick. Even when I'm sick out, then it's not me, somebody else is pretending to be me, because there's no how. Even when things are serious, I still find a way to play with it, and that's just me. Do you understand? Personally, I always look at people and I always tell them, see, life is not too serious. We have enough problems in life for you to be inflicting more problems on yourself. Take things easy, take things chill, take things one at a time. My sister always told me something when I was young that I can never forget. I think she has even forgotten, but I didn't forget. I was trying to solve a math problem and I related this thing to life. She said, see, every problem has a solution. That's basic, everybody says that. But she said, she took it a step further. See, every problem has a solution. But what people do is that they try to find the most complex way to solve a complex problem. Fact is, start from what you know. Start from the basics. Okay, what is this question telling me to do? I don't know. I don't know that. What do I know how to do? Do you understand? Start from the basics of the basics. This is what I can do. This is what I can do. This is what I can do. And you will find that find out that the more basics you get, and you build up to that, you may not be able to solve the problem, but you get to a point where it becomes manageable, it becomes easier, and then you can now take it up with somebody that now knows how to finish it. Because it's tasking when you bring a big problem or the genesis of a problem to somebody. But it's easier when you say, okay, I've done this, but I've gotten stuck here. What do I do? Do you understand? And that is how people work. That is how you get your problems solved. You don't pour out all your problems on somebody. Do you understand? You try and solve. When I say try, I mean you can do this, so this is what you do. If you don't know what to do, don't keep it to yourself and say, okay, it's my problem, I don't want to bring it. You go to somebody. What do I do? Person says, do this, do this, do this, do this, do this. When you do this, then you cannot come back to me. We'll do this together. Do you understand? Because you have your place. In as much as you have a problem, it is still your problem. You have a place. Then we can do some things together, so we can solve everything together. Do you understand? That's how things work. So that's just my daily that's just my daily advice for people. You understand? And I feel like I've digressed a lot from this whole podcast thing, but you get the idea of what I'm trying to say. Always just push yourself. Like I said, I started this podcast to be about a podcast, but I guess I'm going too motivational shit here. Do you understand? And that's what I do. You are the best. Don't let anybody tell you that you're less. I personally brought up this podcast to do this, to motivate people, to push people. I don't know you. The person that is listening to this, I don't know you. I don't know your name. I don't know where you are, but I'm influencing you. I'm helping you. Because people look at me and be like, Max hasn't. Because if you know me, I don't work without benefit. You not ask me, Max, what are you benefiting from this? I'm benefiting because I'm reaching people. And that makes me happy. Do you understand? That personally makes me happy. That makes me feel like I have an impact on something. Do you understand? And that is more than I can say for what I've done in my life. People have coding, people have graphics design. People have, different skills. This is my skill. My skill is talking, and I want to use my skill to make sure that I can be the best I can be in everything. Do you understand? Because if I can't code, I can learn. But if I can't code, I can't do graphics design. Doesn't mean I'm useless. I can talk. I can reach people. Do you understand about what I can do? Not everybody. What people don't understand is not everybody is meant to be a tech designer. Not everybody is meant to be a math guru. Doesn't mean I don't know math. Not everybody is meant to be the next Bill Gates. Some people are just meant to be. Some people are just meant to be, the next motivational speakers, the next Steve Harvey. Some people are meant to be the next, talk people that help people. Everybody's meant to be, oh, I'm going to be this in the future. Steve Harvey talks for a living. He does talk shows, and he's rich, richer than a lot of engineers I know, richer than a lot of whatever. Steve Harvey lives in a mansion. Some engineers that work 247 live in 3-bedroom apartments. Do you understand what I'm saying? And that's not to discourage people, in the academic business or in normal jobs, but that doesn't mean that you as a person should not work towards your passion. Do you understand? School may not be it for you. You may just be doing this because, oh, my parents say I should do this and this is what I want to do. Personally, I feel like that is good. Make your parents happy. That's your first. I feel like that's your first thing before anything, because they are paying for your school fees and it's not easy. Make your parents happy. After, sort out yourself, because in the end, it's your life, whether you like it or not. Once you graduate and once you do your shit, it's not your parents that are going to be sponsoring you. It's going to be you and you alone. And at that point in time, they are no more responsible for you. So what are you going to say? Okay, my parents, so they should sort me out at the end of my life. That's a sad life. You understand what I'm saying? So in the end, it's your life. Settle out what you want to do with your life. Do what your parents say you should do. Fine, that's all they're good. But always know that first and foremost, this is your life. This is what you do, not what your parents do for you. Do you understand? And this brings me to the end of this. That was supposed to be a short podcast, but a podcast nonetheless. I think I'll be doing this more often, not necessarily every week, but more often. Just breathing life into people every day. And yeah, it was supposed to be about why I did podcasting, but well, the spirit wants what the spirit wants. But yeah, this is what we are. Sorry for the background noise. My roommate was watching Moonlight, and apparently it's too interesting. So any other background noise, I'm sorry. Normally if I was at home, I'll just find a quiet place, but I'm in school, subject to school activities, and there's nothing I can do about that. So, like I said, I really, really apologize for that. But hope you guys were touched and impacted by my words. Like I said, I'll be doing this as much as I can, just to help people. You understand? It's what I do. It's what I do. And for anybody who knows me and if you're listening to this, feel free to comment. Like I said, I'm going to be doing this on I. That's even what I want to do today. Is create an IG account for this podcast, so you guys can personally be commenting on posts. I think I would call it Max_talks. Yeah, you guys can be commenting on posts. I'm going to make reels. You guys will be commenting on reels. I may be showing you guys the background, of how I do my thing, so that you guys will know, okay, this and that, and this and that. And for everyone out there that wants to do a podcast but doesn't know how, feel free to DM. I'm here for you guys. This is not my podcast, this is our podcast. Just because that's my name, this is podcast for the people. Max Talks, podcast for the people. Yeah, that's my motto. I think I like that. I think I like that. Max Talks, podcast for the people. Feel free to DM, but my personal place is don't procrastinate, just do it. It's not as hard as it seems, guy. I'm telling you. You are making it harder than it looks. Just get your tab, get your device, download Anchor, press record, and speak your heart out. That's my advice for you. Don't think it too much. Don't reason it too much. Is what we do. Again, this podcast was sponsored by your boy TQ Tranquil. Sells headphones. You guys should be. I'm telling you guys because I know, not just because he's my sponsor, he's my guy personally. His headphones are quality shit. They are quality shit. Just 4,000 naira. If you want to purchase one and you're outside Community University, let me know. I'll arrange that personally. I'll arrange that. And if you're a Covenant University and you want to get one, also let me know. Just tell me your room number, your hall, your name, and any other detail that you think may be important. So that if you're a boy, I'll have it delivered personally. I will deliver it personally to you. If you're a girl, I have some friends. I'll have them personally deliver it to your room, so that you don't have to stress. Yeah. Once again, you've been listening to the voice of David Maxwell. Yeah, I have an English name, David Maxwell. You guys should watch out. That name is going to be going places very, very soon, very, very far. So, thank you so much. You guys have been my pioneer listeners, and I love you guys so, 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 so much. Especially everybody who comes to my DMs to drop good comments, even without me asking. I love you guys. Yeah, bye.